Yeah, it feels bad, man. Alright, we're recording again. This is a tutorial for PC any percent, or commonly known as the warp category. Thanks, Nostra. Hey, Yuffa. Thanks, man. Yeah, damn warp categories. You damn kids and your fancy step count. Alright, so this tutorial is going to be kind of a beginner to intermediate level. I'll teach you the basic stuff and I'll let you know some things that you can work towards, try and make a better time as well, if you want to do that. So we'll be covering the essential skips and the recommended skips that aren't too complicated, and I'll be doing the step count as well. Yeah, who plays this on PC? God damn it. Oh, maybe I should turn chat back on because this is entertaining. Okay. So first things up, I'm going to your menu, config, set all of your bars to fast for obvious reasons. ATB active, cursor to memory, and then run up. Yeah, it will. I might just lower the volume a little bit. For this section, you can just hold circle. You only need to attack, so just hold circle for the entire game. I'm not doing mega fast inputs there. Good battle. Alright, so this is the first screen where you're probably going to need to actually start concentrating for step count. Basically, step count is a method where you use a combination of walking and running to manipulate the encounters that you get and optimizing that in the best possible way so that you get the least amount of encounters and the encounters are as fast as possible, like maximizing your preemptives. So if you want more detail than that, I suggest you look up Zero Carnos's video. He explains it in a lot more detail on his YouTube, because I don't really understand it anywhere near as well as he does. Yeah. I might do like sections where I drop the audio and do a voiceover if it's a little bit better, but I'd rather keep this live if I can. Okay, so for Cloud's name, keyboard is the best way to do this. If you're using the default settings, hold down C, press B, press X, not B, then press B, then press X. So that's hold down C, X, B, X. And we set it to one character because it reduces the amount of time that dialogue is actually scrolling. It's a slight thing, but it doesn't really cost any time to do. And same thing for Barrett, hold C, X, B, X. Hold up and right, around about here, and you'll start off the next screen running in the right direction. And then go to up, and just try and get through this screen in the shortest method possible. You get a battle here. Just run. You can just run from it as fast as you can. That's a nice escape we get there. Then up and right for this screen. I'll go through a heap of dialogue here. Talk to Biggs. And then talk to Jesse to open all the doors. Alright, starting the elevator up by pressing the button. Hello. There we go. And you can try and mash through the text as fast as possible here. It is slightly faster if you get what's called the elevator cycle skip. Where you see the elevator going up and down and up and down. If you get through the text fast enough, you can actually go straight down after Barrett enters the party. We didn't actually get it here, so we go up and down. Alright, hold down left, down and left, and then left for when, so you can run around Jesse. Here I'll just hold left. There you go. Step count's a lot better here. That's unfortunate. When you're running away from battles, you can try and get in a fast escape by doing change or even attack. Attack is just as good because the animations, especially on those guys, is quite long. So if you can get your escape before they get a turn in, you will save some time there. So run right, and we talk to Jesse, go down the ladder. And it's probably a good idea to turn your the little pointy hand on, the indicator, just to help with some screens where the cloud is either really small or actually hidden from the camera. So yeah, here I'll try a Barrett attack. And there, we didn't get any attack animations from the enemy, so that is slightly faster. And after this ladder, we do our first step count manipulation. Right, so it's not very specific where you have to do it, but you need to do it somewhere on this screen, so the bridge is the easiest point. You take 8 steps here. And just a little tip, Cloud always starts off with his right foot, just to make it easier counting. That's right based on Cloud's perspective. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we start running again. Alright, pick up Cure. And then we'll get into Guard Scorpion. Okay. Alright, so our ATB was pretty bad here, so we can't really go for a first turn. If you do go for a first turn, for the entire fight, unless we get a limit break, Cloud will be casting Bolt and Barrett will be attacking. It's normal. If you get Barrett ATB in a good position when you start the fight, you can hold down circle just to queue up his attack, and you might get Barrett going before. It just gets a little bit of damage in and can save you some time in the fight. If it's Cloud first, you need to hold down and circle until he cues his bolt up, because the way the fight works is that it registers your direction before your confirmation button. So in the same frame, it will move down to magic and then circle to confirm to go into magic, and then it'll move down to bolt from ice, because bolt is the second option in Cloud's materia list, and then it will confirm, and then you'll confirm the target for Guard Scorpion. So if you do get a good ATB, you can try that. Unfortunately, we don't get to do it here, so we'll just see what happens next. Okay, so Guard Scorpion telegraphs his moves. He tells you who he's going to attack next by using Search Scope. Uses Search Scope on Cloud, so he's going to attack Cloud on his next turn. So the way this fight works is that we want to get Cloud's limit break charged by the end of the fight, and keep it charged. So starting off, I wouldn't recommend you use Cloud's limits in the early stages of the fight. Just go through the fight normally by casting Bolt and attack, and use Barrett's limit when we get to that. And then you can get to more advanced strategies. However, for this point, we're going to use Cloud to go first, because if he gets a limit, we may be able to use that, even though I'm not going to use it here. But it is good practice just to have him go first. So, triangle, Cloud Bolt, Barrett attack. And now you can just hold circle, because we're not going to change the order here. We're going to hold Cloud here because his Guard Scorpion does another Search Scope, and we're going to see who he attacks next. So he's targeted Barrett. We're going to have Barrett go first. And just hold circle again at this point. Okay, so that's a shame. I was hoping Barrett's limit would charge here, but it's not going to. If Barrett's limit does get charged, what you can do is, because he'll be going first, if you've done the setup like I have, his attack will be queued up and Cloud's Bolt will be queued up. After Barrett does an attack, his limit gauge, his ATB gauge will fill up basically instantly while Cloud is going through his Bolt animation. And you can queue up Barrett's Big Shot, and Big Shot will be used immediately after Cloud casts Bolt, because limit breaks in this game take priority over every other turn, and you'll get all that damage off before Guard Scorpion's next turn. And we're just going to be holding here because Guard Scorpion's going to be raising his tail. And here we're going to use Bolt with Cloud, and we're going to charge up both Barrett and Cloud's limit with this move. And we'll have Cloud's limit charged for the next boss fight, which is very advantageous. And we're also going to charge Barrett's limit off this. So what we're going to do is we'll hover Barrett's attack over Guard Scorpion, but we're not going to confirm it, and we're going to wait for his tail to go down. Once his tail has gone down, we'll confirm Barrett's attack. That'll go first. Cloud will then cast Bolt afterwards, and we'll have Barrett's limit going off as well. It'll look as such. So first we're going to cast Bolt with Cloud just to charge our ATBs, and hover Barrett's attack cursor over Guard Scorpion, but don't confirm it. And now you just wait. you go, it's time to lower it, and now you can just hold circle. That's a bit unlucky. Unfortunately, we've got some pretty bad damage rolls, and we're going to just have to do an extra attack to kill Guard Scorpion. Usually he's dead by the time Barrett puts in his limit, but although we didn't get any early limits and we didn't get a first attack either, so I guess that makes sense. And that's Guard Scorpion. So now we're on a timer. Just hold down on the screen and then up left. Oh, a little bit too far. Alright, grab the potion, talk to Jesse. And then we'll run up the ladder and we'll get into our next bit of more advanced stuff. This is for if you're running step count. If you're not going to run step count on your first run, you can skip this explanation. So I'm going to Alt-Tab here and explain what's happening. So otherwise I'm going to run out of time because there is a bit of a complicated setup to this. The next boss that we fight in this run is Apps. And you can get a preemptive encounter with Apps. So what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate our step count so that we get that preemptive. The first step is to force an encounter in this position after you make the jump and press up and down. Don't press left or right because that can throw things out. Just up and down until you force an encounter here. And then we'll get into the next step. So up and down. Okay, so walk left off of this screen until you leave it. And then run right until you stop, which is up at the top of the staircase. Okay. Then hold down L1 and then up until you stop. Alright, so this next bit is the most complicated part of the setup. We're going to be running down along the wall and then curving around. So at this point, we'll be holding down, we're still holding down L1 and up. Hold down X and then shift from up to up and left. So one more time because I stuttered a little bit. We're holding down L1 and up. We then hold down run. And then we shift up to up and left until you get down to the corner. When you get to the corner, shift from up and left to up and right and hold that until you get into the elevator. Alright, so holding down L1 and up, hold run, up and left, and then up and right. And hold that until you run in the elevator. Then run the elevator. So for the next screen, we just hold left and we're going to be stopping in a very specific... we're going to be stopping in a very specific location and then we talk to Jesse in that location. But the only button that we need to hold here is left and we'll be running as well. So hold left and run, run, run until you get to that position right there. It's okay if you go a little bit over, but not by much. It is fairly tight. So talk to Jesse, and then we just hold down, talk to Biggs, and then I'll pause this bit. At this point here, we hold down until we pass through the doors, and then we go to down left. You want to do it as soon as you run through the doors. If you bonk on the actual door frame, which can happen, just tap L1. There's also a guardrail further down, which I might actually try and hit intentionally if I can. If you get stuck on that as well, just tap L1 as well, and you'll go through. That's not going to throw off your apps setup, but you need to get through this door and out of the screen in the shortest distance possible, because this does matter. You can't even go one step off for this setup, otherwise you will not get preemptive apps. So hold down left, and we bonked, so just tap L1, and that's it. That's the first part of preemptive apps setup. There is a second part, and we'll get to that when we need to, which is right before the boss fight. Ah. Whoa. Need a drink. It's a lot of talking. Alright. So just get through that text. See if you can overtake Barrett on that screen. If you can, you know your movement's good. And there is an option here in the dialogue, but it's the first option, so you can just mash through. And might as well. You can grab the potion there. It's not really a big deal. If you get it or not. Okay, so for this screen, you'll get 3 options. It's the second option for each time something comes up. So, General Soldiers, second option. And then second option. And second option. Alright, so yeah, there's nothing much to say about this area. This next screen coming up has a skip in it, a cutscene skip called Jesse Skip. I'm not going to go through it, mostly because I'm just not good enough at it to actually teach it, but I wouldn't worry about learning this anyway if you're just starting or only know the basics of this run. This is a very small time save. You're better off focusing on other things like step count or how to actually do this run. So we won't be going through it. Just talk to Jesse. Right. So you need to run up in the carriage. Just you know, you can run when the lights come back on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all you need to know. Because if you mash there, you have to go through quite a bit of extra text. It's not worth it. So to avoid that, as soon as the lights come back on, that's when you can start running. Just hold down for this section and get through this. Not thinking I might actually turn chat back on because I can ban people if I need to. I can edit them out for the recording. Might do that, but I'll keep the followers, the notifications. Yeah, I can stop if I have to, and Nostra is still here. Alright, so for this screen, just run out of it and run back in. That cuts out some dialogue that you have to go through with Barrett to do that. Alright, so we named Tifa here, same deal as before. Hold down C, X, B, X. Oh. Then you're not using the right one. Oh, shots fired, console wars. And if you're thinking Xbox, you're wrong. It's fucking Sega. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with the cutscenes, obviously. Like, I'm not going to go. It's like you have to run left here, talk to Barrett, and figure it out. I tell you when there's dialogue options that you need to get right, but. And I'll go through movement when it helps. I mean, if it makes things faster or if it makes step count easier, but I'm not going to be doing all the like minute little tricks on every screen. Plus, I think it's better if people actually go through and figure out things for themselves. This is weird. My Twitch has been saying 2 viewers for a while, but I got 3 people talking to me at any point. Which one of you is a Russian bot? And now no one talks to me. Oh. Yeah, it usually is. It's a good thing that there's nothing important tied to it, like whether or not someone reaches affiliate or partner. Otherwise, that would be really embarrassing. Okay. So I've actually got control back now. Alright, so we talked about there is kind of an important dialogue option here. 6 boxes and then second option. Or another way you can do it is when Cloud moves, second option. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Cloud moves, second option. Beep bop. I mean, what? Alright, so we're going to do a shop here as well. We run down into the store, just mash circle here, and then we go sell items. Sell everything that you have. Buy 21 grenades. That's it. Oh no, sorry, you also need to grab an ether here as well. So, go up here, pick up the all, pick up the ether. No, I haven't. I could stop there anyway because that kid just gets in the way. Okay, so we got guard skip here, which is our first kind of big skip for the game. So I'm going to save here. Right. I've actually already got a save there, lol. Alright, so we can skip a large chunk of the game by clipping through these guards here. No, that's Chrome, Yoffa. So yeah, you can clip through these guards here, and I shall show you how to do that. So, coming in, hold right, and you need to be in this exact position here, and I shall give you a close-up. This position here is where you need to be. The way I see it is the tip of Cloud's hair, like the longest spike on the front of his head, just slightly sticks out away from the garbage behind him. That's how I know that I'm in the right position. So from that position, oh, I better switch. There you go. Alright, so from this position, hold down and run, then release X. Go from down to down left and down, and then you need to move left just a touch until you're in this position. It's okay if you move too far, you can just move back, but the way you know that you're in this position is that the guard's head is like his what do you call it, like the corner where his hat is right at Cloud's groin, where his 2 legs intersect. Hey Jack, yeah, I wasn't happy with the way the last tutorial came out. So this is where his 2 legs intersect. That's where the corner of the hat needs to be. From this position, hold down X and run down and right into this position here. Then hold left and tap R1 until you're into about this position here. and then reset your position by holding down and right again. Then tap R1, and I'll try and get a 1 frame input because I want to show this position. Yep. So this is the position that we need to be in order to clip behind the guards. So from here we would run down and right, and we'll pass through. And I will show that, and then I'll do this skip again just to do another demonstration of it. So you run down and right here, you run behind, and then just down and left, then down. And that is guard skip. So we'll reload that save. Come on, catch up. Right, so running in, hold right until you're in that position where Cloud's hair pokes just slightly out. Down, release X, down left, down, tap left until you're in, until the Shinra's corner intersects Cloud's groin. Down and right, running, and R1, reset the position, and then if you get into this position here, you're 1 frame away from the correct position. Sometimes it's a bit hard tapping R1 for exactly 1 frame. That's why I'm doing a video. So hold down R1 and then tap left. It can be a little bit easier to just do it for 1 frame. And it might look like that. And down right, down left, down. And that is guard skip. Thank you for the host as well, Yaffa. I just realized the encounters are going to change slightly. I should still get preemptive apps though. At least I hope I do. Yeah, because they've been studying it for the last 20 years of their life. Yeah, guard skip takes a while. You will need to practice it. So talk to this guy. First option, then 4 dialogue boxes. And then you go straight to the mansion and talk to the guy at the front door. Yeah, the first time it's like, it worked! Now I can't do it again. Shit! I forgot to split. Oh well, split here. Alright, so run down. So the next couple of screens are very important to your run because some of them have dialogue options and you need to get them right. This isn't one of them, you just talk to this guy. So we'll talk to this guy first. And it's the first option. Alright. Then run to the restaurant, which is this little tent. Take a seat. Doesn't matter what you pick there, so it can just be first option. You pay him. So the next one is important. So make sure you don't get this one wrong. Second option, it was all right. And he gives you the pharmacy coupon and we leave. And then we talk to the person working at the pharmacy. 3 dialogue boxes. Third option, digestive. Then we run down to the inn. Stay. Then the second option, buy for 200 gil. Alright, then we leave. And we go back to the materia store, which is the first place we visited. Mash through this text. And then we go to the dress shop. Okay, so once we've gone through that text there, we go to the bar. And there's a couple of things we do in the bar. Now, if you watch some higher level runs, you will see bar skip done here. If you're just starting this run, I strongly recommend you to not attempt it, because if you get it wrong, and it is quite easy to get it wrong, you will soft lock the game and your run will be dead. So, yeah. If you so choose, of course, it's a free country, but I would strongly recommend that you don't do bar skip when you're learning this. So talk to the girl in the toilets, give her the medicine, it's the first option, and she gives you the sexy cologne. And now we just have to wait for her to finish walking off. And then we talk to the person sitting down, mash through the text for a little bit, but we do need to stop mashing at a certain point. Alright, so here's a good place to stop mashing. And he'll ask you, what kind of dress do you want? Second option, second option. And that's it for the bar. We go back to the dress shop. And talk to the front counter again, and they give you the dress. Okay, last step to this side quest is we do the squats. So just mash through this text. Eventually you'll see instructions in colored text pop up. That's when you should stop mashing. So you get one list of instructions, second list of instructions, second option. Then there's a bit of text, big box, it'll ask if you want practice, don't need practice, one box, and then you start. Done. 13 is a pretty rubbish amount. Alright. So at this point, if you're not feeling super confident, you can go into your items, check your key items, and you should have all 4 of these items before getting dressed. Okay, you headed out, Nostra. If so, that's cool. So yeah, you should have all 4 of those items. If you don't, then you've forgotten something. The 2 that can actually be forgotten are the tiara and the cologne. And just run up and mash. Ah, yep. We'll see if he comes back. I noticed that he did unfollow me last night. The best way I can describe it is being passive aggressive. So we run up and go straight to the mansion. Well, that's not why he was banned. He banned because he started calling you a low-key cuck. That's when I asked you to ban him. I don't really care about him being banned in other channels, and I don't care about him not being honest about it. I do care about him calling my mods cucks in my channel. He can piss off with that attitude. Uh, 2:35, 38. Alright, so just get through all the text in this room. There's nothing really complicated about it. But once you've gotten through all this text, grab the ether that's sitting on the floor. Yeah. Yeah. So this is your moment of truth, when you did whether or not you did everything right in Wall Market, because he should select you. Okay, so run up, grab the hyper behind his bed, and then talk to him. Second option, talk to him. Second option. Run down. You can just mash here, it doesn't matter what you select. Alright, so this is the second part of Preemptive Apps. Not this cutscene, obviously, but the next section of movement before we fight apps. Okay. So, as this cutscene finishes, you want to be holding down, right, and running. You'll be running for this as well. And then once you stop, talk to Tifa, and then we'll cover the next bit when we get to that. Although I just realised I might not actually get it because I Alt F forward out of the game. Anyway, down, right, and X until you stop. Talk to Tifa. Now, as you talk to Tifa, you want to shift from down, right to up and left, and then just clear the text as it comes up. This is still running, so up and left. And then when you stop, go left only, and then a release left, release X. Now, we're going to be taking not even half a step here, a quarter of a step, and then hold down run until you stop at Aerith. So, it's a really short step, and it's faster than what I could even say. So, like that. That's how much of a step that you need to take. And then talk to Aerith. Okay, good. So I'll Alt F4 here. So when you're coming into the screen for this fight, just hold up and circle, and that'll queue up three grenades for everyone for this fight. And then after, Cloud will always go first. After he goes first, we use his Braver. So hold down and circle. And then hold circle for Tifa to queue up her next grenade. And then grenades from here on out. So just hold circle. So Apps will either die on this grenade that Cloud uses, or he will die on the his second tsunami, depending on the damage rolls. It's a bit out of your hands. It's just RNG. Obviously, you want to get the high damage roll from Braver, but that's how it goes. So here we got the good damage rolls, and he dies now. Okay, so Phoenix down. Whoa, that's really bad. Didn't lose step count. Step count is... What the hell? Okay, jump down. Why didn't I get a battle? Yeah, that's a bit odd. I'm not actually sure why I lost step count now. Maybe because I Alt F4'd? Huh. Oh well. So normally, around the point where you pick up the steel materia, you want to get an encounter there. It's a preemptive, escape from it, and then after that battle, take 6 steps, and then that's it for step count. So this run doesn't actually change that much because I've dropped step count now. It kind of sucks, but whatever. So yeah, around the point where you find the steel materia, you'll get a battle. It's a preemptive, run from it, 6 steps, and then for the rest of the run, we don't take any more steps. We're running the entire way. What I might try doing is, if I take 6 steps here, Maybe that'll fix it. It probably won't, but I'll give it a shot. So 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so these items that you need to pick up, these are items that you need to pick up. So yeah, pick up the high potion. And run round and down, pick up this potion. And this ladder tricks up a lot of people with its movement. The trick to it is to hold right and up and L1 all at the same time, so immediately when you get off the ladder you'll be running in the correct direction towards the next ladder. Yeah. And then this one is a similar deal, just hold down, instead hold left and up and R1. Hello? That's actually in the right spot. Not the right battle though. Right, so need to get into both of these trains to continue. Hop onto this ladder, hold up and right, and you'll hop straight to the next train, then hold left. And yeah, you can just hold left for the rest of this screen. And the next screen. I forgot to split again. Too busy explaining. Okay. Once we get through this text, there is a shop here. It's not a very big one. Like, we only buy one thing, 4 of one particular thing. We grab 4 tranquilizers here. Yeah. Set for the text, so talk to this guy here. Buy 4 tranquilizers. That's it. If you want to do a safety save, you can save here. So talked about, we're actually still on step count, but just a little side note, you're not going to get the same battles. If you are on step count, you'll get them in the same location, but it's just a thing with this game that when you Alt F4, it changes the battle tables that you get. But I am actually back on step count, funnily enough. So you should get them in the same location. I'll let you know if things go wrong with step count again. So just okay, we don't need to do a menu here. And we just use grenades against Reno. Nothing fancy. So yeah, just for the start of this fight, as before, hold up and circle. Okay, so this is a little bit more of an advanced technique, but it doesn't really cost anything to know it if you want to try it. 2 seconds, guys. Yeah, sorry, just needed a drink. Alright, so we got off 1 grenade, and this technique is only specific to when you get 1 grenade off before Reno gets his turn, because he does pyramid. Jesus. If you get 1 grenade off before Reno gets his turn, you can use a limit as well if we manage to actually get a limit charged, and that'll take off one of his attacks, making the fight slightly faster. So if it happens, I'll go through it when it if we can do it. If not, the general idea is to just get 2 grenades and a limit break off in the 1 cycle of attacks, and the person that chucks the grenade first has to be the person with the limit. Okay, so Cloud is actually really close to getting his limit here, so I might just hold Tifa's ATB and swap Cloud on Tifa around so that Cloud goes first, in case he gets his limit. It doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, so we actually got really lucky and Reno critical there, so this should actually finish the fight if Tifa actually attacks Reno, which she does. Fantastic. So yeah, that's how the attack skip works. Normally Reno would get an attack off there and we'd need to use 1 more grenade to actually kill him, but there we used a limit to cut off one of his attacks. Alright, so just talk to Tifa, then you go to the control panel thing there. One thing that you might want to know about is don't try and get in Barrett's way. The text won't progress until Barrett gets into the spot that he needs to. I have found out the hard way about that and lost about 5 seconds. But other than that, feel free to screw around because you've got your movement. However, when this section loads, run down to Barrett and start talking to him. Just spam the confirm button to talk to him and he'll run straight to the rope. He's not going to run around in circles. And now we just enjoy the cutscene. One hour Reno, making good time. I get my tax return back soon, so I'm going to be buying myself a camera for the stream. That way you can look at my ugly mug while I play this game. One thing to know, if you're not on step count here, that short distance that Cloud runs, Cloud is actually on his own there, so you might want to make sure that you're actually healed up nice and healthily. Equip the restore materia if you have to, because you're on your own, so dying is actually a possibility if you get pincered. This house is usually a preemptive, and we ran away from it like it was a preemptive. Interesting. Okay, so when we get to Aerith's house, we're going to pick up the ether over in the garden. Run straight out. Oh, I might do a voiceover for this section, because it always gets claimed on YouTube. Which is a bit annoying. Alright, so run into the shop here. I'm going to sell item. Sell all your ethers. Phoenix down. Actually, how much skill do I have? What is it? 40. Just see. Hold on that Phoenix down for just. See how many grenades that. So you need to have 670 gil remaining. Which I round that up to 700. Hey Jack. Alright, so you need 670 gil for the rest of the run. And at least until you get to Rocket Town. I just ran that up to 700 to make maths easier for my brain. So 4500 minus 700 is 4800. Like so. And I need 670, that's not enough. But 53 grenades is plenty, so yeah. When you sell all your ethers and the hyper. And that should be it. So we can keep this Phoenix down just for safety as a beginner strat. Normally we sell the Phoenix down because we're running less ethers, but I'm doing a bit more of a safer strategy just for an introduction to this run. But other than that, that's it for this shop. Oh. Very good movement there. Ah, this is so weird. So normally that encounter is a hell house, but it's not preemptive. This is so weird. That screen, it kind of just takes practice getting through nice and cleanly. We go back into War Market and we go to the weapon shop before we climb up the wall. Alright, so... Oops. Alright, so yeah, talk to this guy, buy the mithril rod, leave, and talk to this guy, and just mash. And then you got the batteries. And we can proceed. I was working on a farm when I was working by Chocoholics. Well, the funny thing is, the step count is fine. Evers, yes. Step count's fine, but it's just different battles because I alt F4'd out of the game during guard skip. But yeah, it's really weird for me. So place the first battery. Hahaha, nice drive. You're falling behind, mate. Yes, the mithril rod is what you buy if you're starting this run out. As soon as you get up from the ladder, mash circle. You don't need any direction for that bit. Jump. Fail. Those who can't do teach, right? Jump. There we go. That's better. Okay, so for that last climbing section here, just hold right. It's much easier. You think you have to hold down because of the way it looks, but you don't. You can just hold right there. Makes it a little bit easier. So we can just mash through this text. It doesn't matter which option you pick here. And we take the entrance on the left. But before we start the stairs, we go into the menu, go into config, set ATV to wait, go into order, and everyone in the back row. When you're in your menu, you also want to take note of who's got more health out of Tifa and Barrett, because you'll need to know that for the next boss fight. Other than that, you just climb stairs for 4 minutes straight. But you do pick up an item here as well, the elixir. And that is necessary. So you know you're on the screen with the elixir when Barrett starts acting like a child and going, "Are we there yet?" Which is this screen. Although you wouldn't actually know if it was Barrett because I've named everyone A. And when Tifa chucks a sock, that's when you... If your movement's good, that's when you pick it up. Okay. We're also going into a bit of detail over the ATB weight manipulation up ahead. Yeah, this is literally 4 minutes straight of climbing stairs. It was Tifa's idea. Whoops. Should actually pay attention to it. I wonder if that would be faster to exit and enter. I'll have to experiment that. Alright, anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm thinking out loud there, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so for this screen, you want to run right and down until you get to this point here, like use the couch to stop you from running down. But yeah, run diagonally down and to the right and use this. The reason that we do this is because this screen doesn't increment step counter before you fight these 3 red guys, that it does afterwards. So in order to minimize the amount of steps that you take that contribute to step count, we want to get as close to them as possible. And the way that we do that is we go down here slightly, then we run right, tap down a little bit more, and that will get us pretty much right next to the elevator after the fight. Like so. Okay. So this fight. Alright, so this fight is where we use the ATB weight mechanic. It's kind of like weight tricking, just a little bit easier version. So we've started off with one of the guards moving off first. Now, currently, at the start of the fight, we don't know where any of the guards' ATB are, but we want to minimize the amount of turns that they get, so we're going to be using a bit of manipulation. So we're going to see which guards actually get a turn off first, and then we'll make it our decisions from there. Okay, so that's it. The guy at the front has made his move, but the other two haven't got their ATB charges. The reason for that is ATB doesn't charge when you're in a menu. It doesn't matter what menu you're in. It can be your item menu or your magic menu. The thing with this is that when you destroy the red armor on these guards, their ATB resets. So we know the guard at the front has 0 ATB. We can use a grenade on one of the two guys at the back, and that will reset their ATB, and they will also be at 0. So that's what we're going to do, and this minimizes the amount of turns they get, thus making this fight faster. So we'll target this guy, and then we'll go straight into the menu for queuing up the next grenade. Whoops, I don't know what I actually did there. I think I attacked, which is a bit of a mistake. Oh well. Yeah. Okay, so this is a bit weird. It's actually pretty good that Cloud gets a limit there. Yeah, we'll treat it like that attack didn't happen, and we'll destroy this armor. Now, I'm 90% sure that the blue guys have faster ATBs than the red guys, so you may want to focus the blue guys over the red. But we will we'll kill the first blue guy, and then we'll break the red armor, because his ATB will starting to get close to full again. It's already full. So you kind of get the gist towards the end. The start was pretty rubbish, but the idea is there towards the end, where you see that we keep resetting their ATBs so that they don't get any turns in. And then we pick up the key card there. '60th. And then talk to both Barrett and Tifa to move on. Okay. There's not much to say about this screen. If you're not confident with it, practice it. That's all I can really say. There is a fast strat for it. Don't try it, it's horrible. Not when you start out. Ah, there we go. Just needed a drink. Alright. So yeah, for this, just do what you're comfortable with. Rushing this becomes a pretty big penalty. So I'll wait for these guys to pass. So if you do get into a battle there, you do have enough grenades to cover yourself in this route that I'm doing. But obviously you want to avoid that because it is a pretty hefty penalty. But talk to this guy, second option, he'll give you the keycard because he's an idiot. Oops. There is a way to manipulate or to know what the first answer is, but it actually doesn't matter what item we get out of this. So you can just guess. But it's either, it can only be one of 4 possible outcomes. It's either best, king, bomb, or mucker. So we get a potion there. And then head to the 65th floor. So this route I take is the one I know. This is the only route I know where for all the chests. If there are others out there, you can look them up. Normally that's one saw blade at encounter. But I basically work in a clockwise fashion, and that puts the chests in this order. Curious to see what this battle is. This is normally 3 of those guys. As long as the bottom chest in the top right room goes to the bottom right model, it unlocks all of them, and the route is free to go about after that. Yeah, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day because you have to run the same distance regardless. But yeah, you can either follow this route or you can do Sully's method. Yeah. It literally makes no difference as to which one you do. Just try and keep your steps clean if you're doing step count. Climb up. And don't worry, Jack, we'll do a courtesy flush as we leave. Yeah, top left room, not top right room. There's only one chest in the top right room, and that is going to be locked. Pretty sure. No, that's okay, sorry. I don't know everything about this run, so that is more than okay. Apparently I can get from apps to Reno in 5 minutes. Oh yeah. We've got to split it red. Alright. So the next fight that we're doing is sample. If you have kept the menus the way I've done them, you won't need to do any menu before the fight. Right, so run down and get through the next cutscene. Hold up when you load this screen, because you actually do have to move up and activate the trigger. Okay, so after this cutscene, you can pick up the poison here. Well, you need the poison. You can save if you so choose. I think I will, just for safety. I shouldn't die here. Not that hard. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a safety save there if you want to take it in your early runs, but this boss fight isn't very hard. Alright, so looking at the health, Tifa's health is a lot lower than Barrett's at the moment, so we're going to be using Barrett for this fight. That's generally the way that you want to decide this fight, because Red is forced into your party and you have a choice of either taking Tifa or Barrett into the fight. It's generally just, it doesn't really matter which one you use. If you have a choice between them, because they're both high, take Tifa. Her ATB speed is slightly faster than Barrett's. Okay, so if you've done the names, this isn't going to make any sense as to who you want in your party. If you want Barrett in your party, take the top option. If you want Tifa in your party, take the second option. So we want Barrett, so we go with the top. You don't have to worry about renaming Red to A in this. You can just go start and select for this, because he's just not mentioned enough to warrant cutting his name down. This fight's going to run pretty similarly to the first fight, the fight that we did with Red Guards, where we're going to be using the ATB wait function to minimize the amount of attacks. Basically, the idea is queue up a grenade and then trigger the next grenade after the animation for the first character goes off. So it's better to explain it by showing rather than just by words, so we'll do that. So grenade, you target, and then go grenade again, and we wait for Cloud to finish his animation there, and wait for Red to finish and go. Wait for Barrett to finish and go, and you get the idea. If you're kind of worried about how many grenades you have, you can use fire once with Red. If you're concerned that you just don't have enough grenades, but it's not super important with this run because I'm literally showering you with more grenades than what you ever need. I made a mistake there, by the way. I should have held the ATB. And that's how we fight Sample. If you go on to later runs where we start cutting out some of the ethers, you do need to use fire with Red because grenades start to become a rarity rather than a common item. But this text we can just mash, we don't need to worry about any menus here. On the prompt, but we do a menu right after this text. So go into your menu, config, ATB back to active, order, Red into the back row. We don't need the E skill, and back into the elevator, and we head back to the elevator on the 66th floor. Alright. So, no one has any questions that are itching on top of their mind? We're going through a bit of dialogue here, so we've got time. Alright, so for the next screen you want to hold up, running up. When you do, you get this box, third option. And then you can just have some fun while mashing through this text. You can merge with Tifa. Yeah, so when Aerith sits down, it's 3 text boxes, then run up and get some sleep. Talk to Barrett. Then talk to Tifa after this message and hold down and run. Straight in the elevator. If you forgot to pick up poison, you should pick it up there because yeah, that is the last opportunity to pick up poison. Take this. Head down and right as soon as you leave. That fight is a preemptive on normal step count as well. It's just 2 of the dog things instead of 1 each. I've actually got a spare potion already because of the you know, I'll just pick it up anyway. Pretend that we didn't get the potion from the mayor. Pick up the potion here, that way you'll have 1 spare. Because we need at least 2, this way you'll have 3. In this run we've got 4. And then run up, a little bit shorter. And then just hold right for this screen, you don't need to hold down and right. So we're almost out of Midgar. Which is good, because Midgar is kind of the boring part of this run. Things start getting a bit more exciting after the calm flashback. Okay. So there's a option coming up here. Waiting room for Aerith's funeral. Oh, savage. There's a option coming here where you want to, whether or not you want to remove materia from the party. We want to remove it. So select remove. Now at this point, never mind, I'm thinking current strikes. We just run. Hi, Antilac. Ah, this is a back attack. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. So yeah, we usually get a battle there. And then we start the double boss, the gunners. And this fight is super duper complicated. You hold up circle for everyone to key their grenades, and then you hold circle for the entire fight. We just use grenades for the entire fight. Like I said, super complicated. Sarcasm if you couldn't tell. And just hope no one falls asleep when you're fighting the flying dude. You'll actually get to find out how the warps work and to like, because I couldn't really explain it yesterday. And you should be dead now. Yeah, that's 12 grenades for the first guy. I actually never counted how many grenades it is for this guy. That's unfortunate. Yeah, this guy can put you to sleep. It's just, it's a loss. You can't really do much about it if it happens. Eventually, he'll wake up. We don't heal for this fight. If someone dies, so be it. Oh, 2 sleeps. This sucks. So when he starts spinning, it's 2 more grenades, and then he dies. So unfortunately, he's going to get another attack in. And that is Gunners. Should play Guns N' Roses when you fight that boss. Alright, so we don't need to do any menus here, you can just press start. Okay. Alright, so here I have Cloud's Limit charged. There is an optional thing that you can do to try and make this fight a little faster, but it is a bit riskier in terms of time and not in terms of surviving the fight. You pretty much, as long as you don't do any hideously bad mistakes, you'll be fine. You can try and kill Dark Nation with Braver if Rufus goes first. That cuts off his barrier turn and saves a little bit of time. It's a couple of seconds. It's nothing major if you do it, but the problem is Braver is more likely to not do 140 damage, which is how much damage it takes to kill Dark Nation. So there is an increased chance that you actually have to spend 2 attacks on Dark Nation. instead of just one, and you do want to kill him because he does a lot of damage when you cast Bolt, and that will actually risk killing you. Don't kill him first. Other than that, if you don't want to do that, just grenade Dark Nation. There is still a slight chance that he won't die, but it's not as high. Alright, so yeah, that's your two options. I'm going to try and do the Braver if Rufus goes first. If Dark Nation goes first, there's no point, just use grenade. Alright, let's see if this works. Yeah, that's why it's riskier. Oh dear God. I'm so glad this isn't a real run right now. Jesus. This is actually starting to get risky. And it's 4 grenades to kill Rufus. Or 4 grenades and a Braver. That is legitimately like the worst Rufus fight I think I've ever had. Except for the ones where I've died in those slots. But that's because we have Cloud in the front row for those slot runs. Alright, so when you get to this screen, go into your menu, Materia. First one is Restore. Restore should be in your first option, so you can just go like that, double circle, and then Lightning in the second slot. That's it. If you're not on step count, heal, because you can still get battles here. Well, not this screen, but the screens that you take to get down to Tifa. But before you go to Tifa, you need to save. So, save your game. Yeah, we'll do slot 1. I put it in the 3rd slot. It doesn't matter which slot you do it in, obviously, but you have to make sure that you don't overwrite this save file. So I put it into slot 3 to make sure. And that's it. Then talk to Tifa. And just run straight to the door. Okay. Alright. They really went above and beyond for this remake. Okay, so before we kick off, we're going to do a quick menu here, just for safety. Motorball, the next boss coming up, is not something to be taken lightly. If you do it properly, you'll be fine. If you don't do it properly, you'll be in a world of hurt. So go into the menu. If you didn't change Cloud's materia, you can do it here. Then go to Order, put everyone in the front row. And yeah, that's it. Then press Start Game. And The idea is to get 3 red bikes, and we get 3 orange, of course, 4 orange. You want the red bikes because you can just hold them off, like so. There we go. Oh, that sucks. Hello? Oh, yeah, this happens. Wow, this is pretty bad. Wow, this is a pretty bad run for red bikes. Oh, you've got to be kidding. It can be, yeah. Oh, we got 2. We're gonna finish before we get through. Yeah, we're not going to get 3 reds. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Found it. Okay. So, for this boss, pay attention, because if you don't get it right, he can kill you. What we need to do is Cloud cast Bolt, Barrett uses a grenade, and Tifa uses a grenade in that order. The order is important. Okay, so, yep. Cloud does Bolt, use Barrett next, and grenade. And Tifa grenade. And then we just hold circle for a little while. These damage rolls are a little bit concerning. Okay. So this is when you should start paying attention, when Motorball uses twin burner. Forgot the name of it. There. You should get 2 rounds of attacks now. So Cloud does Bolt, Barrett uses grenade, Tifa uses grenade, Cloud does Bolt, Barrett uses a grenade, Tifa uses a grenade, and then Motorball will get his next turn in. Okay, when he does this turn, do not use another grenade with Barrett just yet, but we will be holding it. There's a trick that we do. There's just a little funny way that this guy is coded. We skip one of his strongest attacks, but if you don't get this right, then you won't skip it and you risk dying. So this is what you do. When he does his rolling attack here, Barrett should be charging his limit at this point. Go into item, grenade, hold the grenade cursor over Motorball, but don't confirm it just yet. Cloud will cast Bolt, and then he starts his animation to stand back up. this is when you use grenade, and then at this point just hold circle, and then just hold circle after you do this. So when during the animation, not after, during, is when you put the command for grenade in. The damage rolls for Cloud is a bit low, so I am also going to queue up a limit break, but I won't queue it up until the last attack is being entered, which is Cloud's Bolt. This is just for safety in case you get low damage rolls. Nah, we're fine. But yeah, you can do that if you're worried about the damage rolls there. That's Motorball, nice and safe. Okay. And up next is Barret skip. It's just a little cutscene skip. It's not technically it's not necessary to do this in a run, but you should. I would highly recommend learning it because we do this skip twice now and after a warp. It is very advantageous to do it after a warp. I'll get into why when we get there, but I would strongly recommend learning this skip. So basically all you need to do is run to about this position here, then you run down left and press circle. The idea is that when you aim to run out of this screen, you get this text box, and you also want to talk to Barret at the same time, and that'll trigger the skip. So if you get it wrong and you get this, just go, let's stay here for a while. But when you actually do the skip, it should look something like this, not like that. There we go. You'll either get this really big text box that's too big for the actual thing that you get. Like you saw it before when Cloud says then, it was only small, now it's big. This means that the glitch has been triggered. So you go, let's go, and then Aerith will start, oh sorry, Barret's dialogue will start, and then so it doesn't matter what you press here, just go, I don't know, clear this text, and then you can leave. And that's the skip. And now we just want to run to calm and hope that you don't get a battle. Yeah. And just before you enter calm, you need to save. And this is a mandatory save. Save in slot 2. And we're just going to go through this. We're going to go through the first flashback pretty much as normal. We don't do photo skip or anything like that. We just get through it as fast as possible. But other than that, we're just going to get thrown a massive amount of dialogue here. So if you guys have any questions, if you've just joined us, welcome. But yeah, if you have any questions, now is a great time to ask. this battle, I don't think there's anything you can do to improve your odds. You just have to hope that Sephiroth doesn't cast any life 2s. Which we might actually get. Yep. Super strong. Yeah, there's not much you can do, I don't think, to improve your odds there. If you figure something out though, please let me know. I would very much like it to not lose runs to really bad life 2 RNG. Okay. Run straight into the inn and talk to Sephiroth. It's 4 dialogue boxes and second option. Now, the first time you do the flashback, do not do photo skip. If you do, you will soft lock the game. Just go and talk to Sephiroth. Alright, so if you're doing step count for the run, next saw. If you're doing step count for this run, if your steps are good, you won't get a battle in the flashback, and that works out to be a little bit faster because it's better to take the battle in the Mithril Cave rather than here, because when you get the battle here, it's a preemptive, and Sephiroth goes through his full magic animation, and then you have to do the victory dance. So it's most of the time it works out faster if you don't get the battle here, you get the battle in Mithril. But if you're not doing step count, don't worry, just disregard. I don't think my steps are actually good enough to skip the battle here. I think I'm going to get it. Yeah, not even close. So yeah, like so, you can't actually escape, even if it is a preemptive. And you have to go through this animation. It doesn't work out to be faster. Better if you take it in Mithril Cave. So this game, the movement on this screen is a little tricky. You just need to basically tap up for a little bit and then up and run. If you're worried about your step count. Because otherwise you can miss the stairs, and if you miss the stairs then you'll probably get the battle here. But this is the last screen that contributes to step count. So I'm actually going to run out and run back in again. If you've just recently got a battle like what I did, you can do this. If you don't know where your step count is and you're not confident that you won't get a battle, it's better off to just walk behind Sephiroth, because as you can see from this, you get stuck behind Sephiroth when you're walking on this part, and you kind of just have to wait and wait and wait, and then eventually you can run around him. But if you run out and run in, Sephiroth's not on the screen anymore. You just run into the next screen. But the problem is the screen before it does contribute to your step count, so you need to be confident that your step count is really good, or you just received a battle for it to be worth. Otherwise it's just going to be flat out longer. I'll put that on silent, actually. Ah, I forgot to do another split. Ugh. Alright, so 4 text boxes here, then second option. It's not a big deal. If you go into the first option, you just get taken to the save menu. If that happens, just press X. Or cancel. I'll probably edit this section out for the video because there's literally nothing to say about this part. Just go through this like you normally would. Yeah, there's nothing even vaguely interesting about this part. You like your books, John? I could read. Would you like me to read you something? I am very much a book person myself. I prefer physical books compared to ebooks or anything like that. Well, I do like audiobooks as well. Do you get hot summers, John? Oops. Oh, right, Wolf's not paying attention. Run into the house. Those who can't do, teach. Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely going to cut this bit out for the video. There's no point in having it in. Plus, I get rid of the seizure moment, which is coming up. Alright. So, this next scene has a part in it which has a flashing light effect, like rapid flashing light effect. So if you're epileptic or you're sensitive to that sort of thing, I'll let you know when you should look away. If you're running this and you're streaming it as well, be sure to tell your viewers, because it's a real thing. Epilepsy is a real thing. You don't want... It's generally not good if you're viewers are having epileptic seizures for your channel, I guess. There's no reason to not warn them, so you should. Alright. So if you are sensitive to flashing lights, you should look away now. And you can look again. Right, so after all this text, Barrett will just go, F it, I'm out. Select the second option. Right. Have fun with the movement on this screen, it's terrible. Right, and we leave, calm, and coming up next is Zolom Skip. So, let's see what this battle is here. Alright. So for Zolom Skip, this is another one of those skips that you should practice if you're not familiar with FF7, speedrunning it, that is. If you're not feeling comfortable, you can save, but if you do save in slot 1. Like so. Alright, so in order to get Zolom Skip, we need to run across to here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to Alt F4 out of the game for a second, and I will go to windowed mode. Wait for that to pop up in OBS. There we go. And we'll load the save. Okay, so you guys should be able to see my mouse. Yep, excellent. Alright, so for Zolom Skip, you need to run right here, just before where this corner is. Hello. And yeah, so we're going to be running right here, and then if Zolom's not too far away, if Zolom's actually far enough away, he's going to not actually collide with us, he's going to collide with the mountain about here. And then we can trigger a skip where we can just run straight past him. So I'll get into the nitty gritty of it a little bit more. Frames. Fortunately, I'm not too happy with his position. Alright, so if his position isn't good... Actually, no, that's good. Okay, let's go. So run into this position here. Where is it? Right. Oh well. Ouch. Everyone's in the front menu is front line, aren't they? Alright. So if that happens... Alright, learn from your mistakes, I guess. when you save, or if you save, you should do a menu here anyway. Put everyone in the back row, and we'll use our Phoenix down that we had backed up. There we go. Alright. So, let's try that again, shall we? That's better. Alright. Alright, so I'm actually kind of concerned about that positioning. The idea for Zolom is to get him all the way up into this corner here. Now, when he bounces with this mountain, you can't use the left and right buttons. You can only aim the Zolom, which it'll make sense when you see it because he always runs in a straight line away from you when you do this skip. You can only aim with the L1 and R1 buttons, or the equivalent buttons for what do you call it? The equivalent buttons on the keyboard, which I can't actually remember what they are off the top of my head. But this is what the idea is. If you use the left or right, you're going to completely screw up the movement, and Zolom's going to come straight after you. And you're probably going to get hit by him, and then you have to do the skip all over again. So that's what we're going to... Okay, yep. And then just press up, aim with the camera a little bit so that he hits that position there, and you see that he bounces back onto the mountains, and then you can slip past. I'm just going to save here and Alt F4 again because OBS doesn't seem to like running this in windowed mode, and it's hitting the frames, so we'll do that. There we go. And run up. You can skip that cutscene, but I won't get into it too much. It's not that much of a save for a beginner. Alright. And then we go straight into the Mithril Cave. Alright, just run straight down. And then we do this cutscene here. Now, on the way to Zolom skip, you may encounter those guys. You may get an encounter with the thieves. I can't remember what they're called, but they can steal items. Now, for this run, you need to have, at this point, you need to have 2 potions, a high potion, and an elixir. If they steal any of those, you should be okay if they steal a potion if you picked up the 3rd potion in the Shinra Mansion, like what we did. If they steal a high potion or an elixir, you can run into the room that's straight up, and there's a high potion and an elixir in that room, which I'll actually go in and show you. I might as well, it doesn't really, but I'm not really too concerned with step count anymore. So yeah. Elixir in this chest, high potion up here. And then just run up. Yeah. If you get a second battle, that's too bad. Normally you don't if you're on step count, and if you don't need to go and get those 2 items. They're just there for backup if you need it. Once you leave the Mithril Cave, save in slot 1. And then we Alt F4. Alright. Wait for OBS to catch up. There you go. Alright. Load save 2 just outside of Calm. And we're going to trigger the... We're going to go into the flashback one more time. And this is where we are setting up our first war. And we have to go through this fight again. Once again, pray that you don't get any life twos, but there's really not much you can do about it. Alright, pretty good ATV again. One life two isn't too bad. We can edit that out later. Alright, so this part's the same as before. Once you get control of Cloud, go straight back into the inn again, and then after that we'll be doing photo skip. One, two, three, four. Second option. Okay. So you need to do photo skip in order to do this warp that we're setting up. So to do photo skip, hold down and left until you stop at the sign. Then hold left until you stop. And the next step is you run up until around about the point where you hit the shadow that is being created by the fence in front of the mansion, and then we go from up to up and right and then go into the menu. It's all pretty quick, and I'm not going to have, like, I won't be able to say it all quickly enough. So it's up, then when you hit the when about the point where you hit the shadow, up and right, and then go into your menu. And then when you're in your menu, we press X. And then after we press X, while the menu is closing, hold down, you're still holding down X, and then you also press up and right and circle. And if you get it perfect, then you will do photo skip. If you don't get it perfect, I'll show you how to still get photo skip. This is just the best way to get you into the position nice and quick. So release, hold X, and then after you start exiting the menu, also hold down up, right, and circle all at the same time. Alright, so yeah, we didn't get it here. We're a little bit off. In fact, I think I'm a little bit too far up. If you don't get it the first time, you can hold down R1 and then press up and circle at the same time. And yeah, this is it. This is photo skip. So you'll see this text box just glitch out. When you get this when this happens, press circle once, and then after Cloud walks past the guy that he's standing next to, then you can press circle again. But don't press it before, because it will slow you down. And I think there's actually a very small chance that you can soft lock, but not sure, not 100% sure on that. I don't think I've ever seen it. I thought I soft locked once, I actually didn't. But yeah, so press circle once, wait until you walk past, then press circle again. Like so, and now you can move freely. Run up, and don't clear this text box, otherwise you'll run down, and it doesn't cause you to lose the run or anything like that, but the game will force you to run back down to like here, and it just slows you down. So don't clear this text box and leave the screen up, and you'll load the next screen. Now, this glitch is a bit weird because Sephiroth doesn't actually get put into your party, so you can die from this point onwards. This is why if you do the PlayStation runs, they only recommend you do this skip if you're on step count, because you can die at this point. You'll get a game over. But here we go back into the previous screen, and then we just run around until we get a fight. So I'm doing a beginner percent, so just stay here and just run around in circles until you get a fight, and then we die. And just sit back and die, basically. That miss. Love it. Level 1 Cloud and he manages to miss. Jesus. Oh yeah. When you game over here, do not Alt F4. If you Alt F4, you won't be able to do the warp. So just clear this off. Continue. Load your save in slot 1, where you saved outside of the Mithril Cave, and then run down into the like dead patch of ground here, and just run around in circles until you get a fight. And we need to win this fight, so you need to kill all the enemies here. And you can pretty much do it any way you want. You can use grenades, you can use limits, doesn't matter. Oh, that sucks. I wasn't sure if Tifa's limit was going to be enough there or not, but it wasn't. And that is the warp. So at this point, if you're on step count, you will get one battle before you get to Materia Keeper. Now you are hideously underleveled at this point, so if you are, like, if your HP is like looking like this, you need to heal. It's critical that you heal. Like, Barrett's a one shot, and Cloud and Tifa, they're not looking good. So just heal up, and then we head to Materia Keeper. I'm not actually on step count at this point, so I'm not sure if I'll get a battle or not. Take tube 1 and run straight to the save point. Now, so this menu is kind of long. Well, it's not super long, but it's probably one of the longer ones in the in this category. PHS, put Aerith and Red in your party. Go to limit, reset Aerith. So set level 1, yes. Go into status, check Aerith. Aerith's attack stat. So in the second batch of stats where it says attack percent, defense percent, Aerith's attack needs to be between 28 to 30. If However, her attack could be between 27 to 31 if you followed this these set of notes exactly. So if she's on 27, you need to equip the Mithril Rod, and I'll just check the stats here. Yeah, so if she's on 27, you'll need to equip the Mithril Rod. At that point, she'll be on 31 attack, and then you equip a materia. If she's on 31, then you just equip one materia, which is fire. Fire should be the closest one if you've been doing your menus correctly. Don't equip poison, because poison goes on to red. But her status here is 28. 28 to 30, you don't need to do anything. So after that, materia, go to red, equip poison. Go to cloud, take off bolt. Go to magic. If you need to heal, heal. Go to item. Tranquilize everyone. Save. This save is mandatory. And now we fight Materia Keeper. I'll start the fight first, then I'll explain it. Okay. So Materia Keeper is a bitch. This is the worst point of the run. He's the RNG gatekeeper. So what we need to do is, we're doing the quad 7 strategy that we do similar to no slots, but we're getting there a different way because we are so underleveled that we can't do the normal way. The way that we do it is that red will cast first Materia Keeper will take a turn. We will use Cloud to heal whoever Materia Keeper attacks, and then red will poison, and Aerith we're not going to do anything for. She won't have any turns until Materia Keeper is actually poisoned. And once that happens, we're going to use an elixir with Aerith, and then I will get to the rest after that. But hopefully this doesn't die. I'd like to explain this in one go, but yeah, I can't guarantee that. So let's see what happens. All right. So yeah, here with Cloud, poison with fire. When you're on Aerith, go into item, find your elixir, and hover over Materia Keeper. But don't confirm it. Only confirm it if poison procs with Red's bio. Okay, we got a lucky run. Hopefully it doesn't die. When Materia Keeper gets poisoned, confirm the elixir. If poison doesn't proc, it's basically repeat. Materia Keeper will take a turn, Cloud heals, Red casts bio. And then you just try again. You keep doing that until you get a poison proc. Or until you die. One of the two. If Aerith dies, you have to Alt F4 and start this fight over. Alright, after that, Cloud and Red are both going to throw a potion onto Materia Keeper each after the elixir. Then Aerith will do an attack. Then either Cloud or Red, it doesn't matter which one, they will throw a high potion onto Materia Keeper, and at that point Materia Keeper will be dead. So yeah, 2 potions, attack with Aerith, and then Cloud uses a high potion or red, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Aerith has to do 13 damage. And then after the high potion, Materia Keeper's dead. So luckily we managed to do that all in one run. Okay, once that's done, pick up counter and leave. If you're not on step count, you should heal. Okay. Once you leave, go into your menu, PHS. Swap Aerith for Barret. Item, Tranquilize Barret. And it's a good idea to save here as well, because there is a pincer attack that you can get. If you get that pincer attack, you're probably going to die. Right. And then head straight to Rocket Town. If you're having trouble getting that fight, like if it's just too fast for you and you're kind of stumbling, just go into your configuration menu. Wow, no battles, nice. Where's this RNG when I'm actually doing a run? If you're having trouble with Materia Keeper, go into your configuration, drop battle speed to a point where you're comfortable. Don't go to ATV weight, it just makes things more complicated. Right, so go into the item shop, go into sell, item, sell the gem ring and the talisman, and then go into buy. Buy 11 high potions. If you need a tranquilizer to go on Barret because you don't have any, you can buy one here and then buy time. And go outside, talk to the old man twice, and he will give you the Yoshiyuki. Right, so we'll do a menu here. This menu, it's equip, cloud, equip the Yoshiyuki. Press X and you'll go into your materia menu, equip counter attack on cloud, R1, time on Barret. Then go to order, put cloud in the front row, and might just heal with him as well. Other than that, that's it. Yep. And then we just go through all the cutscenes in Rocket Town. Oh, Memento, if you're still watching, thank you for the follow. Sorry, I don't have my notifications turned on because I'm going to be doing this into a video later. So, don't worry about renaming Sid, it's not worth it. And other than that, just mash until Sid will turn around and slump over. That's the cue that you can leave. Not sure about nice guy. There you go, slumps over and we can leave. Right. Oops. And then we head back to Sid's house. If you want to save before Palmer, if you're not feeling confident enough to do this without a save, head back out to the world map and save there. You can do it after you go through the cutscenes that we just went through now, but once you go back into Sid's house, you can't save anymore, you're locked in. door. Cool. So you can't actually close any of the text boxes there, so you might as well just sit back and relax. Alright, so just run outside the front door, more text. And then just run straight outside. And we start the fight with Palmer. Okay. So the strategy for Palmer is first we want to poison him with fire, with red. And then after we poison him, we will be casting haste with Barret. While we're doing this, we'll be healing with Cloud with the high potions that we bought. After we poison him, we're going to let Barret and Red die, and we're only going to heal Cloud. The reason for this is Cloud's weapon, the Yoshiyuki, its damage increases with the amount of allies that are dead. So with Barret and Red dead, it will be doing triple damage, which is the best source of damage that we have. And hopefully we'll get in a couple of counters with a bit of good luck as well, but that's the intention. So yeah, we poison Palmer, then we cast haste on Palmer after he's poisoned, and we're healing with Cloud. The RNG in this run is insane. Why can't I get this good luck in a real run? Alright, so yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Alright. So yep, here with Cloud. Doggo's dead. Barret's dead. Unfortunately, we're not getting any counters in. Ah, damn. Cool. So Palmer has enough MP only for 10 spells. Once he runs out, he won't do anything. So you can just sit back and watch Poison absolutely shred his health. If you do turn down the battle speed for Material Keeper, make sure you turn it back up for this fight. It will make it fast. And this fight's nowhere near as hard as Material Keeper. Cool. Alright, so we're going to start setting up the second warp of the game. At this point, but it does take a while to set up. Yeah, nice little cutscene to enjoy. And do your little dance on the airplane. It's completely mandatory. If you have to ask why it's mandatory, shame on you. Right. So once we get control of the tiny Bronco, we're going to head back to Midgar. So at that turn you can revert to the flat camera. It makes it a little bit easier to aim, and you want to park at this little beach right here. So once we hop out, go into your menu. If you need to heal, heal. You shouldn't need to if you've been using the high potions, but you can. But if you count the casts that Palmer does, you might have decided to drop the high potion, and also put Cloud in the back row. And we're going to head back to the Metal Cave. Right, so this is the exact same as before. If you aren't feeling confident, you can save. Save in slot 1. Should be good there. That was a bit unlucky. Alright, so one trick you can do if you got Zolom hanging around where you are, which can happen. Go into a battle, and then as soon as you leave the battle, run straight to the spot where you need to go to trigger the skip. Because he always spawns in the same spot, which is right in the opposite corner. There you go, much smoother that time. Alright, so here we need to save. Save in slot 1. Then Alt F4. Let OBS catch up. And we're going to load save 3 just before Motorball. Alright. And just get through this dialogue. Now, this warp is very similar to the warp that we do, the first warp that we do, where we abuse the death from the calm flashback. Instead, we're going to die to Motorball intentionally. And here you don't need to do a menu, just go straight into the mini game. And when you do get into the mini game, go straight up to the truck and push it to the right hand side of the road. Make sure it stays there. And then just let the bikes drive into it constantly, and they'll drop Tifa and Barrett's health to 0. Well, to 1 HP. They'll be at 1 HP when you enter the fight, and then they'll instantly die because of Motorball's first turn. And then once they're dead, we're going to drop Cloud's HP as much as we can by just driving into the bikes. We're almost done. Well, Tifa's almost dead, and then Barrett's next. There we go. And the best thing to do to try and get as much damage against Cloud as possible is force them up against the wall. No, there we go. A little bit too far down. There we go. The red ones are the worst to get because they die the fastest. When you go after the bikes, you always want to go after the bike that's at the back, because you don't want bikes at the front clearing out the bikes. Yeah, Motorball can miss on its first attack. It's a bit annoying, but There's not much you can do about it. And just sit back, you can drop your HP a little bit more, get about 4 hits. So assuming Tifa and Barrett die, just have Cloud throw a grenade on himself. He'll either die to Motor Ball or he'll die to the grenade. Two attacks will be enough to kill him here, but he doesn't do 2 attacks. So we got the game over. Just like before, don't Alt F4 out of the game. And load your first save file. Now, if you do decide to get into this run and try and do it a lot faster, like if you're approaching the top 10 times, you can look into something called Yuffie manipulation. But your time's going to have to be quite fast in order to get that down. So you want to keep your health above 300 when you're trying to get Yuffie. I should actually specify that. We're trying to get Yuffie here. And then defeat her, and that will trigger the next warp. But while you're doing that, you want your health to be above 300. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. And this is it. So just use Braver. It's Braver plus 1 attack. Or if you don't have your limit for some reason. If you don't have your limit for some reason, I think it's 3 attacks or 2. Not sure. So after this fight, you'll immediately be taken to the Motorball fight. So this is the reason why you want your health to be high, because if your health is below, I'd say 350 at a guess, you'll have to high potion at some point. But if you're at full health, you shouldn't need to high potion unless you get a really bad string of luck and you get like critical or something like that. But other than that, just kill it, just attack him until he dies. And hope you get some counters in. Nice. It's 5 attacks to kill Motorball. Alright, so once we kill Motorball, we have warped back to Midgar. And the reason we do this is because we can now trigger the final warp that we do for this category, where we warp to the developer room. Okay. So here we do Barrett skip again. The reason why I recommended you do you learn Barrett skip before is because if you don't do the skip, your entire party gets healed and Yoshiyuki's damage just drops, like it plummets. So, and there's one more fight that we need to win. So that's why I recommend that you actually do learn Barrett skip here. And good idea to heal as well. And we're now heading to Mount Nibble, where we're going to enter on the north side. This is a really good place to do a save. And then head in. If you've deviated... excuse me. If you've deviated from this route at all and you have Tifa in your party for some reason, you need to take her out, because if you go into the Mount Nibble with Tifa in your party, you're going to soft lock the game. So here we just sit and wait for a second. You're not going to be able to move or do anything here. You're just waiting for some dialogue to pop up, which is from the Calm flashback. And then you get control back and you just leave. Head back to the Tiny Bronco. Okay, hop out here, and we're looking for a very specific encounter. It has 1 flat beat and 3 Spencers. And you should also make sure that your health is above 300 at this point. This is the battle that you actually need, so that's pretty good luck. Come on. Alright, so after you get this battle, run down to the beach, go into the menu. If you need to heal, heal. Other than that, reset your limit and pop Cloud into the front row. And then just run on the beach until you get a battle. And for this battle, you'll either get some beach plugs or you'll get this guy. And the critical's a nice touch. Normally it takes 2 attacks. And you win the battle, and then you get teleported to the developer room here. Now, get out a pen and paper, start up a text file to take notes, because this is long and convoluted, and if you screw it up, you could be in a world of hurt. So, run down and talk to the cloud that's directly below you here. Ima. Vincent. Confirm the name, then run to the left to this Yuffie. Talk to Yuffie, he'll come up with Ijido. Member Zenon. Talk to her again. And item Iro. Yeah, Ima. Yeah, item error. Then press square and you'll see this pop up, the 2P. Press circle, talk to Yuffie again, and then menu on, talk to Yuffie again. Full name, talk to Yuffie again. Next, full material. Go into your menu, VHS. Put Vincent and Sid in your party. Equip. Cloud gets Ultima Weapon. Sid gets Venus Gospel. X. Arrange your materia. Go all the way down and put double cut on Sid. Double cut on Cloud. Take off counterattack. Then press X. Leave. Talk to Yuffie again. Yeah, welcome to the debug room. Talk to Yuffie again. Next. Battle 999. Alright. Have Vincent... Son of a bitch, I screwed it up. Alright, I'm gonna have to backtrack. I forgot to equip materia on Vincent. Should have been looking at my notes. Alright, let's do that again. The funny thing is, I know that entire thing off by heart. As you may have ascertained by now, there's plenty of RNG in this one. There we go. Finally got it. And it's a preemptive. Alright, so go down. Cloud in the front row. Reset his limit. Get the battle. Eventually. Alright, we get beach plugs. And just hope for as many counters if you get this encounter. Two counters is pretty good. Actually got 3, but the third one didn't matter. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? Alright. Go down. Emma. Vincent. Confirm. Left. Yuffie. Member Zenon. Item error. Square. Talk to Yuffie. Menu on. Full name. And next, full materia. Go into the menu, VHS, Vincent and Sid, equip, Cloud gets Ultima Weapon, Sid gets Venus Gospel, go into the materia, arrange, Sid gets double cuts, Cloud gets double cuts, take his counter attack off, go to Vincent, Jesus, put on Steel, and Master Magic. Other than that, that is fine. So, talk to Yuffie again. Next, Battle 999. Have Vincent kill this triangle here, the one at the back. And repeat. So we do this fight twice. Alright, so we've leveled up Steel to Mug. After we do that, press, go into the menu, have Vincent equip Death Penalty, leave your menu, press square so that you go back to 1p, talk to this Tifa, it should come up with Lazdan, and go to LAS 4-4. That's everything you need to do in the walkthrough. Okay, so for Genova, 3 double cuts, and then Vincent does Mug. Make sure Mug is last. 3rd double cut and Mug. Yeah. Let's take it home. So what we're utilizing here is something known as Mug Glitch. It only works with Vincent. Basically how it works is that if you use Mug with Vincent, cancels the next animation that's meant to play out. In this case, the death animation. So Genova doesn't really have that much of a death animation, but Bizarro and Safer Sephiroth both have quite long ones, so we use Mug Glitch to cancel them. So we just get through all this text until we select our party. Vincent and Sid again, and leave the menu and confirm. Alright, so for Bizarro Sephiroth, it's 2 double cuts and a Mug, but make sure that you don't use double cut before Bizarro uses Bizarro Energy, which is the spell that he uses to heal his center body. If you do that, you won't be able to do Mug Glitch, or your odds are definitely dropped. So yeah, it's 2 double cuts and then Mug. Just make sure that it's after Bizarro Energy. So just wait a second and we'll queue it up now. And then Vincent does Mug. Pretty cool just for the added lol. And we go straight to Safer. We skip the animation where Bizarro is just doing the I'm sinking bull crap. Alright, and last of all, Safer. You need Vincent to cast D-Barrier. Oh, excuse me, hiccup. Vincent casts D-Barrier, then 4 double cuts, and then Vincent Mug. Okay, so wait until he casts Wall, D-Barrier, double cut, double cut. Make sure you wait before Safer cast wall, because if anyone's turn queues up in that long animation where Sephiroth drops down, they'll actually go first. Safer won't go first. And you'll end up casting D barrier before Sephiroth casts wall, and you'll throw the HP manipulation right off. So 2 more double cuts, and then mug. And that should be it. And this is basically the end of the run. Let's get through this text, and then you have the final battle in Cloud's mind. Right, so for maximum speed strats, do nothing, just wait for Sephiroth to attack and Cloud will counter attack. If you want to do maximum swag, Omni Slash. Either way, final time is on the either when Cloud lands the damage on Sephiroth for the counter, or on the final hit of damage for Omni Slash. So on the final hit of damage, which is now. And that is it. That is the PC any percent Final Fantasy VII.